Chelsea could step up their interest in Kylian Mbappe over the coming days, with work being done behind the scenes to see if an ambitious transfer can be pulled off. The Blues' possible approach arrives after Paris Saint-Germain chose to leave Mbappe out of their pre-season squad that will head to Japan in the coming days. The Parisian stance on Mbappe was made clear earlier this month as they set an ultimatum to the 24-year-old that he either signs a new contract or leaves this summer. Due to that, Chelsea and Arsenal showed an initial interest in signing Mbappe, despite the financial requirements needed to complete a deal. PSG were searching for a response to their ultimatum by July 15, but just under a week later still had no answer and therefore made the decision to omit Mbappe from their pre-season plans. That choice is a rather bold one from PSG, but clearly shows they were very serious that if he did not agree fresh terms, he would be sold. Mbappe's contract expires in 2024, but there is an option to extend that by a further year, although the France international communicated to PSG he had no intention of activating the clause. A transfer to Real Madrid seems the most likely outcome, with those in the French capital believing he has already agreed terms to join Los Blancos next summer, but Chelsea could crash that party. According to RMC journalist Fabrice Hawkins, Chelsea are interested in Mbappe and are now studying the feasibility of agreeing a transfer. Chelsea might be on red alert for Moises Caicedo after being told that a swap might tempt Brighton into selling their star midfielder. The Blues, as well as Premier League rivals Arsenal, have long been linked with a swoop for the Ecuadorian midfielder. The Gunners saw a number of bids for the 21-year-old rejected back in January. They have since sealed the £100 million signing of Declan Rice, so appear unlikely to return for Caicedo. Chelsea still appear to be in the running though, and the West Londoners could see their chances bolstered should they offer academy graduate Levi Colwill to Brighton, according to Roberto De Zerbi. For me it should be great news because it is difficult to find another player like Moises. If Moises leaves we have to find another player of the same level because we deserve to play the next season with the same quality. Despite reports linking him with a move away from Brighton for the best part of half a year, Caicedo actually ended up penning a new deal with the Seagulls. Whilst De Zerbi has underlined his intent to keep him at Brighton, he has also continued to stress the importance for a replacement should the midfielder be sold. Chelsea and Manchester United will be handed a major boost to their hopes of signing Victor Osimhen if Napoli sanction the striker's latest demand. The 24-year-old has been heavily linked with a move to the Premier League this summer following his title-winning performances for the Italian giants. Osimhen, who sees his contract at the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona expire in 2025, featured 32 times for Napoli in the Serie A last season, scoring 26 goals to clinch the Golden Boot and the Scudetto. At the same time, Gli Azzurri are desperate to hold on to the Nigeria international. Football.London understands that the Blues have not been put off by their stubborn stance. It's believed that Chelsea view Osimhen as somebody who can transform the club's misfortunes in front of goal, but they're aware that without Champions League qualification any bid to sign him could prove difficult. With Napoli eager to fend off interest from some of Europe's top clubs, the Nigerian could sign a new long-term deal. However, they may be left with no choice but to bow down to his demands. According to Sky Sports Italy, Osimhen has asked for a £103.8 million release clause to be inserted into a potential contract extension, forcing United to break their existing transfer record. The report states that Napoli are conscious of selling him on the cheap next summer, so talks over a new contract have been progressing between the two parties in recent weeks. Sky Italy add that an agreement is yet to be reached, with the Italian side keen to set the clause at an eye-watering £173 million. Chelsea have reached out to Lyon to discuss a summer deal for 19-year-old midfielder Ryan Cherki, 90 Minutes understands. The Blues are rejuvenating their attacking line this summer. Both Mason Mount and Kai Havertz have already left, while Christian Pulisic's move to AC Milan is imminent, and there are further plans to part ways with Hakim Ziyech, Romelu Lukaku, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Nicholas Jackson and Christopher Nkunku have arrived at Stamford Bridge, but another creative forward is desired, and sources have confirmed that Cherki has emerged as a player of real interest. Chelsea officials have followed Cherki for a while now and have been hugely impressed by the 19-year-old, and the Blues have reached out to Lyon to discuss a possible summer move. Lyon, who are prepared to offload a handful of big names as they battle financial problems, have put a price tag of €50 million, £43 million, on Cherki's head. Such a fee is thought to be too high for Chelsea, who believe a deal can be struck for closer to the €35 million, £30 million, mark. The two clubs have already had plenty of contact in 2023. Chelsea bought right-back Malo Gusto from Lyon in January for a fee of €30 million and loaned him back to the French side for the remainder of the season, while Lyon submitted a bid for winger Pulisic which was rejected by the player himself. Cherki, whose contract has 2 years left to run, is understood to be keen to reunite with Gusto at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have placed technical director Christopher Vival on gardening leave less than a year after appointing him to the role, according to a report. There was much enthusiasm when Chelsea appointed Vival in September after his positive work with Red Bull clubs Salzburg and Leipzig. Upon the announcement of his arrival, co-owner Todd Boehly backed him to continue on his impressive trajectory and play a vital part in advancing their long-term vision for Chelsea. As technical director, Vival was initially above co-sporting directors Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley in the decision-making hierarchy. However, Boehly and his co-owner Bidad Abelai implemented a change of strategy after the January transfer window. Since then, Vival has been reporting to Stewart and Winstanley rather than vice versa. After that shake-up in the boardroom, Vival has now departed Chelsea, according to the Daily Mail. It means Stewart and Winstanley will have more power for the summer transfer window, with Vival no longer playing any active part in preparing Chelsea for the new season. Chelsea have already been busy this summer by offloading the likes of Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Mateo Kovacic, Christian Pulisic, Kalidou Koulibaly, Edouard Mendy, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, N'Golo Kanté and Cesar Azpilicueta. They have replenished their squad with the signings of Nicolas Jackson from Villarreal and Christopher Nkunku from RB Leipzig. In their previous 2 transfer windows under the new ownership, there was a heavy focus on making new signings. However, it did not have the desired effect, since various managers struggled to get to grips with the large squad now at their disposal. Ultimately, Chelsea finished in the bottom half of the Premier League table and will have no European football on offer during the upcoming season. Mauricio Pochettino has been appointed as their new head coach after previous roles in the Premier League with Southampton and Tottenham Hotspur.